Hey, good Monday morning. Monday morning, yes. It was a busy weekend. Not a lot of sleep, but a lot of fun, and made some new friends over the weekend. It's always good to do that. It's always good to have those times where you can relax and enjoy life for a moment. But before or in the midst of enjoying life, sadness happens, bad news happens. And I was getting messages on social media about an event and situation in Nicholas County, West Virginia on Friday night. When I went to bed, it was a report that 2 officers were wounded. But by Saturday morning, 1 officer had passed away. And you just look at the news cycle in America, and you see that our streets are filled with a lot of anger, a lot of rage, a lot of hate, a lot of bitterness. And, if you go and look into the Bible and you see how the authors of the New Testament letters, how they encourage the followers of Jesus to live even in the midst of their own indifference. For example, Paul in the book of Ephesus, or Ephesians, writing to the church in Ephesus. And when he writes to that church, he understands that Ephesus is one of the centers where there are clashes happening between followers of Jesus and those who live in the Roman world and the Roman way of life. I mean, what Paul understands is that Christians are being persecuted. He sees that, and he understands this because he was one of those persecutors of the church. So he sees and hears from followers of Jesus who are expressing anger, they're expressing bitterness, they're expressing all of these emotions that we see happening here in America today. And Paul's encouragement is this. He says, get rid of all bitterness. And I know it's hard to do. It's hard to get rid. When you've been hurt, when somebody said something about you or about a family member, it's hard to get rid of that bitterness, and we like to carry it on and on and on, and it just adds up, and then more bitterness, and eventually we explode. We do things or say things that just hurt other people and eventually end up hurting ourselves. And Paul says, get rid of all bitterness, get rid of rage, get rid of anger, get rid of brawling, get rid of slander. And he says, along with every form of malice. When you look up the definition of malice, it says intention or desire to do evil, ill will, or wrongful intention. And so Paul understood that to be a follower, to be an example, it meant to get rid of all these things. And sometimes it's difficult, especially with social media. And you look at social media today and you'll see people who are quoting scripture and sharing all these wonderful memes one day, but then the next day, when they get hurt, when somebody says something or does something, then you see them acting out in anger, acting out with bitterness, acting out with malice, doing things that Paul says to get rid of. And when he says to get rid of all bitterness, rage, anger, brawling, and slander, along with every form of malice, he's not talking about just today, but he's talking about let this be a part of your life and your lifestyle so that others can see an example of what it looks like to be a follower of Jesus, even when somebody does you wrong. Yeah, it's not always easy. I mean, just think of Jesus on the cross. What did he say? Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Hey, this is Pastor Bill from St. Luke's United Methodist Church, Harrisville, West Virginia, Ritchie County, West Virginia. Wherever you are, I hope you're happy, I hope you're healthy, and I hope you're safe. Have a great day, everybody, and God bless.